Hello beauties, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah, also known as Live Life's Beauty, and I'm so glad that you have joined me. This year I'm on a mission to do all the things that I say I'm going to do and make 2024 the best year ever, and one of those things was picking up the hobby of crocheting. If you are a new subscriber, then I'm so glad that you have found me, and if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you so much for joining me on another video. You will know that in my last crochet video I decided to make my son a hat, and that was my first ever project, and I use the word ever because for my first project it was terrible, it was a fail, and I did follow a tutorial that said it was beginner friendly, but I couldn't really pick up the hang of it. So this time I've decided to try granny squares. So I'm following a tutorial from, I believe her name is Blondie Knots. I will put her right here. I'm following this tutorial and I want to make a granny square bag. I've watched the tutorial and it looks super simple, and I really believe that I can do it. So I thought this time, do you know what, let me take you along and let's see if this is actually a beginner friendly tutorial and if I can actually achieve something that looks just like her bag. So without further ado, let's get onto the video. Okay guys, so what I will tell you is, one, she doesn't tell you what hook size to use, she just tells you to use the hook size according to the yarn that you have, which I suppose, yeah, that's great if you know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. The yarns that I have don't come with anything on them to tell me that, so that's great. I am just using a 4mm hook, and I think the instructions are clear, but it's just a little bit fast. Obviously she's just going her normal pace. I know she's probably trying to slow it down for us beginners, but I am having to pause and rewind it a lot, which is fine. Obviously that is something that you will have to do as you're getting to understand things, but when I'm rewinding it, it's taking me too far back, so that is something that is teeny tiny bit annoying, but so far I'm able to follow it. I did have to start again because I'm using black because I want to make like Jamaica colors, so I'm having a bit of a hard time seeing, and that's not her fault. So I'm gonna start again from the beginning, and then I will join you when I have something to say.
2, 3, 4, and then we are going to slip stitch into our very first chain here. So slip stitch into there. Here we go. Chain 1, and now we have this little center hole here, and we're going to work our first round all into that hole. Okay. So now we need to chain up 2 more, so we have 3 chains total on our hook, and we're going to create a double crochet into that hole. If you don't know how to create a double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop.
Completed my first little ring. Are you supposed to, I don't know if this is like, do you pull this tight or not? Just close it. But that is my square so far, guys. I know it's difficult to see because it's on black, but I'm super happy. So now we're gonna learn to change color.
We have no yarn on the hook yet. Create a slip knot with your new color. Pull it through your chain 2 space. Throw that tail to the side. We don't need that. And then we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we are going to be working. Round 2 of our granny square. So we're just going to keep up with our double crochet. That chain 3 is always our first double crochet in the row. So every space has 3 double crochets in it. So we always only need to make 2 double crochet when we've chained up 3 crochet. So we have 3 now, 3 double crochet in this little area, and this is half of a corner. So
So that is my second round completed. I think I need to work on my tension. I'm definitely getting tight here and loose here because that corner is massive and then these corners are very tiny. So yeah, I need to definitely work on having an even tension. Then let's go in. So this is what we've got so far. 3 rows. I haven't weaved in any ends. She hasn't showed us how to weave in any ends yet. So I'm just going to continue off camera and I will come back to you when I have finished. So the baby is currently awake. I have been at this for an hour and this is all the rows I've managed to accomplish. So I'm going to hit pause and I will probably commence this once I pick up my older kids from school or once the kids are in bed. So I will see you back then. Good morning, beauties. I am back for the check-in. It's currently 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna show you. And I have finished this granny square. It is extremely small for 7 rounds. So what I did was on my first granny square, I added 3 more color changes and I just wanted to show you that. So I'm gonna flip the camera so you can see this is how small she has you make it, and this is my phone and it can barely fit to say like that's a bag. So this is when I carried on adding the rows, and you can see that my phone and possibly some keys can still fit inside it, whereas that is just entirely too small for me. So I'm gonna add another 3 rows like I did here. Also on my first one I did weave in all the ends, so I just left it like this and then weaved in all the ends. But on this one, what I have been doing, this thread that is occurring, I have been just crocheting over it, holding it down, and so far I think that's working out. You can't really see where it was. These bits are the bits that you start off with, so I probably will just still have to weave them in, but at least it's less weaving in the long run. So I'm going to carry on and complete this before I go to bed. So I have finished with this granny square. It is currently 1:57, so I'm really happy considering that I added extra rows and how long this took me. Altogether, this took me about an hour to do, but guys, disaster has struck because this is my second granny square and this is the first granny square that I did, and I can just see a difference in them. I mean, on the camera now there's not much difference, but in the morning I will show you. This second one looks so much better than this first one, and I am this close to frogging this and making a new one, which I didn't want to do because I really wanted to finish off this project tomorrow. Like, I wanted it done and dusted, but I'm just looking at them next to each other and I really think I can see the difference. But I will show you tomorrow. I'm gonna go because I can hear the baby stirring and I'm a bit tired now and I can get some hours before he wakes up, but I will see you in the morning. Good morning, beauties. Here I am looking a little bit less disheveled than the last clip that you see me in. So I finished my granny squares. Guys, I'm so excited because I didn't time the first one, but the second one took me about an hour and a half. I want to say maybe 2 hours. I'm not sure on the exact time, but for me, I think that is absolutely fantastic. And considering the fact that I went extra rounds than what was called for on the tutorial. So this just needs to be woven in. The ends needed to be weaved in. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to watch the rest of the tutorial and see how to join the two bags together and make the strap, because it is a beautiful day outside today in the UK, which is very, very rare. And if I can at least get this like sewn together, I can take some pictures in the sunshine, which, if you live in the UK, you know how rare sunshine is. So I already know that I'm not going to be doing the lining because, again, like I said, I want to get it done. But I think you can always just add the lining afterwards, so it's no big deal. Baby has just gone down for a nap. It's currently coming up to 1 o'clock. It's 12:57, so hopefully by 3 o'clock I can get this finished. Oh my gosh, please let me get this finished, because then I can go on the school run. I did have somewhere to be at 2 o'clock, but I don't think I'm going to go there, because if he naps, which he has been doing really good long naps, I think he'll do another good 2-hour nap. I did this granny square first and this granny square second, and this one to me just turned out a lot better than this first one. I will quickly come closer, so like you can see the detail in this granny square that it is a granny square, whereas this one I just don't think it's as defined. I mean, now I'm putting it on camera, I don't know if you can see the difference, but to me I can see the difference. So I don't know, this is just a lot more defined than this one.
Join it there. And now we can begin our single crochets. We want to make sure we're going through both these front 2 loops and the back 2 loops here out at the same exact time. There we go, we're through the front 2, and the same 2 on the other square, go through those.
So guys, I'm just doing a check-in. I'm just on the strap. It's not letting me pause it. I need to mute it. How do I do that instead? I've paused the TV for a long time. I haven't even been watching it, but I'm just checking in with you guys because I'm on the handle now, and the stitch that she has you do for the handle is called a Romanian cord. I couldn't do it the first time I attempted it, so I had to frog it and do it, and frog it and redo it, and this is the second time. And guys, I'm not doing so bad. It's currently 2 o'clock, so I have been at this for an hour, but I do have a mother's meeting to go to. It's literally called a mother's meeting. And I wasn't going to go, I was going to skip it, but the only problem with skipping it is that it isn't like a new thing, and if you don't go, then they are thinking about cancelling it, as in like not running it anymore, and I don't want that to happen. So I do try my best to show up, and I did see the person that runs it, and I did say I was going to go, so I am going to go. The baby is napping and I am going to wake him up. He's had about an hour, but I'm just going to be that mean mum today and wake him up. He might go back to sleep, he might not, but also like with kids, he needs to learn that bedtime is bedtime, and that you're not going to scream all night and then have this peaceful sleep in the day. I know I'm a mean mum, I know, but I did, oh look, a knot. I'm just going to crochet over that. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get it done, guys. If I'd have stayed at home, I would have got this done. I'm 100% confident in that fact, because I would say I'm halfway there with the strap, but I am going to bring this to my mother's meeting. I don't know if I'm going to have time to actually work on it, because if he wakes up I can't get my voice. If he wakes up and doesn't end up going back to sleep, then he's going to be on my lap, and that's not going to make me be able to do a lot. But I'm just talking, still trying to crochet while I talk to you guys, just to get every last minute because it's literally rounding up the time now. But okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to show you close up. It's in black, so it's like even more difficult to see the stitches and to see, but I think that's a good thing and a bad thing, because it's kind of hiding any mistakes that I have made. I don't think I've made a lot of mistakes so far. Yeah, can you see the YouTube away? But yes, guys, this is my bag, all done, all sewn up the sides, no holes, fortunately. I do still need to I was gonna say frog it then. We're not gonna frog it. I still need to sew in the lining, but fingers crossed for me, guys, that the sun stays, so that today or tomorrow I can get some good pictures after my handle is sewn on. I want to make a really long handle so I can kind of like hold it like that and take a picture. So I'm going to put this in a bag. I'm going to wake the baby up, and we're going to get going to our mother's meeting so we can support the community and have great places for mums to meet. Okay, the more we get out and go to these things, the more they stay open. Hello beauties, so I am just checking in for the last time. I do have my special guest here, so I will try to make this very quick, but we finished the bag. We ended up finishing it yesterday, guys, and I did end up getting some pictures in the sunshine of it. Whether they turned out good or not, you can be the judge of that, and I'm glad I did, because today is very gloomy, it's very wet, and it's very rainy, so it's typical British weather. But just in case that footage is no good, here is the bag, guys. I am super happy. I just can't believe that I've actually accomplished something, and it actually looks decent. Now, what I will say is I do wish I'd have mixed up the colours, because the black just looks like a big blob of black in the centre. Maybe I should have done it yellow and then gone from there. But for the most part, you know, trial and error with colors, that's like definitely not the tutorial's fault. But I am glad it was very easy to follow. All the steps were really simple, and I think it ended up being a fantastic tutorial. The end result definitely looks like a bag that I can use. So I did not line it, and I did not put in all the ends. That will be a project for another day, because my special guest is here. And when I say special guest, if you're new here, it is my son. He is also known as my manager because he manages my life, and he is a special guest for you guys. So guys, I will leave before he starts screaming and it gets very crazy up in here. But I do want to say a massive thank you to Blondie Knots, also known as Dana, for making this tutorial, because it was really easy to follow, and I do think it was very beginner friendly. Now I will say, all of these tutorials, you kind of have to know some crochet, so you have to know the terms, how to do single stitch, double stitch, and she'd also taught me how to do this. I've never done this before, never attempted it, and on my second attempt it was wonderful. So with that being said, do not forget to live life's beauty, because life is beautiful and it's out there waiting to be lived by you. And hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye.